Look at that beautiful muscle car. You have to take my word for it, but that guy has a sticker. I'll try to find a copy of it. I took a picture of it once that says, "Fuck yeah, smoke," or something like that. Or "fucking yeah, smoke." Yeah, something about, "I'm gonna fucking smoke." So that's pretty funny. It's 7 a.m. and the streets are kind of bare. Well, I got the light now, so. On this side, of course, it's a little bit crowded, but not very. You can see. I always break the law here because it's a big walk around to get around. Yeah, how you guys doing? I'm wearing my Holden Caulfield hat and using an iPhone to talk to you. I'm sorry, I have proper microphones and all that crap and stabilizers, but right now I'm just rushing off to work. I got an emergency. Believe it or not, it's my vacation. My vacation started today, officially, but a student of mine is dealing with an international company and they're negotiating something. Can't be too specific, you know, but they need me to come in and help them with the translation. So I'm going to my school in Sakai and I'm gonna help out, you know. This guy sometimes does fake batting practice in the street, so that's cool. Oh, here's a coffee shop. Look at that. They're already up, of course. There's something in this area only called morning set. And what that is apparently it's only in Aichi. Like people in other parts of Nagoya don't do, in Japan don't have this, but you pay a very token amount, like 400 yen or $4 or something, and you get coffee and a huge piece of toast and like a boiled egg or something, depending on the place. They all have different deals. But anyway, yeah, that's what we got going on so far. There's nothing much to see, as you can see. And as always, I'm taking a different route than I usually take. I've probably taken this route sometime before with you. There's an Amiga here. Oh yeah, so the other thing that I'm doing today that I thought is a little bit interesting is I'm walking farther. I'm walking to a faraway subway station just to get some exercise in. Kind of walking in the wrong direction, but that's fine. And I wanted to, I don't know, share with you a little bit about my life. Sounds so heavy. Not that heavy, not that heavy. So, it's kind of great and it's kind of miserable at the same time. If you can imagine that. Does that make sense at all? The Buddhists think that life is a constant pain. I don't know what they were complaining about back then. Was it that tough back then? Gozaimasu. Is he smoking? That guy smelled like smoke just passing by him. I don't know what they're complaining about, right? Like, yeah, it smells like somebody's smoking. No, it's not him. Someone's smoking. Or a house is on fire. I don't know. Strange. Oh, so this time of year, by the way, last night in my neighborhood, putting on my gloves, excuse me, a bunch of old men were walking around clanging their bells. Go this way. Now walking down streets like this with two wooden thick sticks. I guess imagine you took like 15 to 20 pencils and tied them all together. That would be the thickness, right? Except it was a wooden block, more like a square shaped, except what would be the I don't even know how to describe this. It's like a stick, but it's got 4 sides. There must be a word for it, but it's square. Anyway, so it's a long block of wood, and there's two of them, and they walk around clanging them together, banging them together. That's weird. Why is that? Someone just threw away the skeleton of an umbrella. They're banging them together and telling people, be careful, because it's fire season, you know. Lots of fires started, and it's true. We have lots of fires here because a lot of people still use kerosene heaters. This person doesn't want cats to poop on his yard, but he doesn't know that this doesn't actually work. Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool to see. This electric car has been here forever. I passed by this neighborhood like, I think about a couple of years ago, and noticed this is still here. You might even find it in an old video. Anyway, what am I talking about here? So life is great, and I've got 2 kids now, and my life is pretty much taken up by those kids, by the duties. And I've got a stressed out wife who is not happy with the fact that she's got to stay home all day. She'd rather go and work. But due to the fact that I've got 2 kids now, I've got to earn more to keep them, to keep us, you know, above water. We own a house, so we have to pay, well, we're paying off a house. I guess we don't actually own it yet. The bank owns it, but we're paying that off little by little. Let me see. I'll walk through here just for fun. How about that? No, this street looks more interesting. So I've got that debt, and that means I have to make a certain amount of money every month. Oh, nursery school or kindergarten. I always like these little carts where they carry the kids in. It's like animals. All the nursery schools and kindergartens are closed by now. It's Friday the 29th of December. So most kids are home. Anyway, oh yeah, I'm wearing the Holden Caulfield hat symbolically. It's not really that cold. I just like the hat. My friend, my old junior high school friend Stuart gave it to me. He found me online and he sent it to me as a kind of joke present. But you know, what the hell. Anyway, so I've got all this debt, and I've gotten a certain amount of money I got to make every month, and my wife's not working now. And here we go, negotiation. Look at that. And there it is. People are still going to work though. And there's certain things I like to do in life that make me somewhat happy. One of them is making these videos and communicating with you guys and making better videos, but not just unedited vlogs like this. But on my other channel, Give Me a Break Man, I've actually uploaded quite a few good edited videos. Well, yeah, but they're pretty good, but they're kind of long, you know, people don't, but they're good. They're documentary type, some on sumo, some on events that are happening here. Looks like a foreigner here. Looks familiar, I don't know why. Anyway, I think this is Nagoya Station. Come up here. Well, it is. It's Nagoya Station. I must admit, I sometimes have a tendency to pretend I don't know where I am. Just to throw off the haters. I'm not really that worried. Just instinctive, I think. Many years ago, it came to my attention, another vlogger told me that the haters knew where my address was. And well, actually, no, that was my old living place, but they knew where my apartment was, and my address was actually posted on a site where people, you know, it was posted for all to see. And By the way, I'm not drunk at all, but I feel drunk. Probably groggy from just waking up 30 minutes ago. But my mouth is not working properly. Yeah, my address is posted for all to see. And it doesn't really worry me too much because even though people had posted someone could go to his house, and there was one comment about someone should go to his house and teach him something. You know, one of those things, you know, teach him a lesson type of thing. But no one ever came. No one has ever come to my house. The thing about that is you shouldn't like boast about that, because you don't want to. I mean, there's some crazy people out there. I don't want to go, yeah, 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 you can't catch me, you know. What's the point of that? Because I might reach the wrong person and they'll be like, uh-oh. So apparently in Hawaii now, you cannot, oh, I'm gonna run the red light. You cannot walk and use your cell phone at the same time. It's apparently a new law. At least that's what Japanese people have been telling me. There's a little birdie. Hello, little birdie. Yeah, you can't walk and use a phone at the same time. And I almost wish they would do this in Japan. I think it's even more dangerous because we don't have sidewalks sometimes. Like here we have some proper sidewalks, but there are quite a few sidewalks. I mean, streets that have no sidewalks. Yet, I see every day, like when I take my kid to school, there's this young lady, quite young, in her 20s, I guess. And she's walking around with her head buried in her cell phone every morning. And sometimes she's walking literally into the middle of the road. And I just want to run her over. Get off your phone. Why do you do that? Why do you throw that away? Garbage. Yeah. I don't know why people just do that. How can you just throw something, just drop something out of your hand like that? Okay, so I actually do have a curry. This is a new place. I do have something I want to talk about. Okay, I got a couple things. Okay, here's a Love Hotel. I've actually been in here once. It was nice. Yeah, my wife and I. In case you're wondering who it was. Oh, look at that. Kadomatsu. New Year's is coming, so you're going to see a lot of these everywhere now. These are the New Year's trees. Okay, so when I was young, I always wondered why my parents didn't have friends. Feliz! Happiness is a nice, clean hotel room to have sex in. When I was young, I always wondered why my parents didn't have friends. I thought it was kind of strange, because I had lots of friends, you know. My parents had no one ever come into the house, and it was just them. And, I mean, they did have friends, of course. They went out and stuff, but you didn't see them. And once in a while, we did have guests and stuff, and we definitely had family come over all the time and visit and stuff. But I felt like it was not much compared to our healthy social life that the kids had. We always had people over at our house. What a mess. In fact, you could walk into my house anytime and my friends would be over, my brother's friends would be over, my sister's friends would be over, and sometimes all at the same time. And often people would spend the night. I'm talking about kids, you know, elementary school kids. Even in high school, when I became very academically minded, actually my friend Larry would come over sometimes. I think even Mike did once. Would stay all night. Mike was really smart. I don't think he needed to study as much as I did, but he would stay all night and we'd study all night. Okay, no, I go. Well, he's collecting cans. He's a homeless guy. I actually probably do know his face. Anyway, there would always be someone. The point is, someone was always in the house visiting. When I first got married, YouTubers used to visit all the time. Should we go through here or not? Go through another street, a side street? We can do that. These are all, that's pretty interesting build there, huh? These, they don't allow these. A lot of people don't use these kind of garages. Oh, I can't get through, can I? Can I? Oh, damn. There's no way out, actually, is there? Oh, shit. No, I made a mistake. I'm stuck. I gotta go around. I could jump it, but I don't want to do that. Shit. Okay. Well, that was a mistake. Now look down, just looks like I'm stalking the place. Or what's it called? What's it called when you go and book? No, not booking the place. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to rob this bank, so I'm going to go there first and stake it out. Yeah, stake it out. Looks like I just staked out that place. If there's a robbery there, they'll bring up my footage on the screen and say, it must have been this guy. Yeah, but anyway, now I'm older and I realize Sono yoyu ga nai. Yoyu means leeway or freedom or extra time or space. Yoyu. And I just don't have that yoyu anymore. Separating the garbage. Notice all the cans are gone because the guy took all the cans. I just don't have that freedom, or that not freedom, but that time. I guess freedom is the word. To hang out so much with people. So occasionally people ask me, hey, you want to hang out? New people. In the old days I could. Oh yeah, and when I first got married, people would actually come and spend the night. Like I've had Rona and Dave stay the night a couple times. And other people, quite a few other people. Chris, I can't even get started. So many people have stayed the night. Mark, of course. But not anymore. My wife put her foot down. She's like, we're not doing that. It might be your Western way, your dirty Western way. But no, we're not doing that anymore. So we don't do that anymore. I do know, I have noticed that I don't really have a really, this is going to sound complaining, but it's not. It's just a realization that maybe people need to realize. Okay, so I'll tell you how this came along. Hello, cats. What's up? Another cat here. There's another cat here. What's this? Where is he? Oh, there he is. See him back there? Hello, cat. I realize now that I will never have a James Kirk. Hey, what was Spock's first name? Maybe, did he have a first name? I don't know. Leonard? No, that was his real name. Spock and Kirk relationship. And I was watching one of the remakes of Star Trek. And the one where young Kirk is kicked off the ship by young Spock, and he lands on an ice planet where he's almost eaten by these hostile native animals, and ends up in a cave, and he finds Spock. And Spock's like, "How did you find me?" You know. And of course, it was just because it's a movie. I found you because it was written in the script and it's in the movie. You know, there's nothing I can do about that. So he finds it. Anyway, the point is, he says, you know, we're going to be great friends. You know, he goes, no, you don't even like me. Well, in the future, we're going to be great. I'm plugging in the charger here. When it's cold like this, these phones often give out. I lose the charger. See, charger here. Ching, ching. There we go. He says, you know, we're going to be great friends someday. And he says something like, I missed you. Right? And, you know, and I had a friend many years ago. They kind of followed me to Nagoya, to Japan. His name was Jeff. And I've talked about him before on this show, in my blogs. I said that facetiously, this show. Arrogantly. Though some hater will pick up. God, you're so arrogant to call your blog a show. It's just a blog, dude. Get over yourself. Loser. Yeah. So anyway, I've mentioned him before, but he was an odd fella, Jeff. I think by all accounts, very intelligent, very successful, and we were great friends for a long time. And then, as friendships go, you know, we grew apart. We grew apart first, and then because of the way his mindset is, he's a very logical person. He got it under his he was illogical and illogical at the same time. Just like Spock, he was very logical. And it seemed to him that I had done something wrong to him, economically speaking, even though I hadn't. And long story short, he suspected I'd stolen from him, even though from one logical, on paper that's what it looked like, because I'd been set up, it's a long story, by another business partner. We were in a group of 4. One of the other persons was stealing, and I knew our friendship was very old, so she made it look like I was stealing, but it was actually her, and she thought she figured he would never suspect me, right? Though, if he's really been logical, he would have seen, he would have, you know, realized that I would never do that because of our friendship, right? That's the way things are. Anyway, long story short, we had a falling out. People think I'm stalking them, so I'm gonna move. I want to make them feel uncomfortable. Long story short, our great friendships in which we had earlier stated things like, "I would die for you, man," you know. And we had gone through a lot. We'd lived together and spent many years together. And anyway, we grew apart. And to sum it up, this is going to be quite a summary. He died. Yeah, he died. And before we actually got a chance, we were trying to mend it. Both of us had been trying to contact the other, but we never got around to it, and we died. Yeah. And in my romantic brain, I guess I sometimes think to myself, you know, he was my Spock. He was my Spock. He was my good friend. But let's be real. He was not my Spock. He was not my Spock. He was we'd grown apart, and he wasn't my Spock. And I'll never have a Spock. And that's what I thought when I was watching Kirk and Spock on the remake of Star Trek. I was thinking, you know, I'm never going to have a Spock. I don't have a Spock. I'm going to get over this. This is at that height. This fence is just the right height to hit me in the balls. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I'm never going to have that kind of friendship. And I'd like to romantically say, oh, it was Jeff, but now he's dead. So, but the truth is we'd been growing apart. And the truth is he was actually much closer with older friends of his. And I never really had that. I never really had a best friend. But, you know, it's okay. I mean, I think Hollywood teaches us these ideals. Here I am later. Failed. So, and believe it or not, the phone was full. The memory was full. Not the power. The power was fine. So I lost that. I'll continue though. In summary, Hollywood has made it so that we cannot. We have these ideas about, you know, ideal friendship and love that are not really accurate. You know, I mean, some of you might feel you have that, and maybe you do attain that sometimes, but I think in the end we're all alone, and it's not a bad thing. This guy go. It's not a bad thing. It's just life, you know. But life is a lonely, solitary trip. We're really on our own here. This is weird. Broken. This looks like an excellent microphone stand. Put that there, where it can be easily picked up. Guys, collecting garbage in the morning. I mean, working for the city, of course, but anyway. Life is beautiful, life is great, life is tough. And you may not have a best friend to go through it with. Well, that's okay. Like I said, as I was watching that video, that movie, Kirk and Spock, I felt a little bit sad, to be honest, that I didn't have that. But it's a silly thing to feel sad about. It's like feeling sad that I'm not a princess or something. It's just ridiculous. I wasn't born a princess. You know, this is what life gives you, and if you're lucky, you have some good friendships, and that's great. But at the end of the day, it's going to be just you struggling to take care of yourself and your family, and you will have good friends along the way, but you probably won't have that Kirk Spock relationship. But you know what I also noticed in life, and this may sound a bit cruel, but I actually see it as more of a generous way to think of things. We need human contact, we need human friendship, we need friendship, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the same person. A little bit like you subscribers. You guys come and go, and you're all different, but these two guys. It's an interesting jacket, looks like a baseball. You know, there's a I think it was, I want to say it was Milan Kundera or Leo Tolstoy who wrote a novel about being in love with a woman, and then war comes, and then the guy ends up in love with another woman during the war. And it's kind of, I always thought it was kind of interesting how he could love both women. It doesn't mean that one isn't any less than the other. It's just, you know, it's, he needs that, right? And he found that, and he has that, but it's a different person. So I guess one person replaces, not replaces, provides. Yeah. Yeah. So there are sources. Friendship is like a wonderful mineral, emotional mineral that we need. And you might think it can only come from one source, but it doesn't. There's people all over the world, all over your life are offering that source. So all you have to do is mine it. So go mine it. That's all I got for you today. Sorry for the interruption. Thanks for listening. Now time to get to work. Let me see. Talk to you guys soon.